the sacred love, the passion, the friendship, the equality, the respect, the fun, the laughter. Guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union. Today I want to talk about how important it is that you don't base your self-worth and value and validation of whether you're lovable, worthy, desirable, this or that to anything. Like you can't attach your self-worth to anything in your 3D reality. That's actually what the point is of when we are in pain, where we feel a sense of suffering because we're feeling that something is out of our reach, something that we desire is outside of what we can have because of the circumstance that happened in the 3D. Of course, this is related to specific person. It's also related to money and health and being able to be recognized and valued by the people that are in your 3D reality, being seen, being heard, being appreciated, having opportunities, being able to just be in flow and enjoy your life feeling healthy, whole, and complete. It's a catalyst for you to return back to who you actually already are, the light, consciousness, the creator in human form. 3D circumstance that appears to be keeping you from being able to experience, the reason why you had to go through that was so you would return back to source, because none of these things in your 3D, the illusion of 3D, the illusion of separation, none of these things are actually outside of you. None of them are things that you have to attach to or detach from because they're all already within you. And the experiences, regardless of what they are, so if it's in a relationship, long distance, age differences, attachment styles, the inability to trust, this or that, like all of these different circumstances that people have, or that you were passed over for a promotion, that your original work of art is never seen or never noticed. Like we could just go on and on. All of these things that make you that frustrate you and make you feel like I'm not seen, I'm not heard, I'm not valued, I'm not loved. They. And you're just like pointing the finger. The point of this is for you to return back to source, to recognize I already am whole and complete. I am the light, but I have all of this darkness, this shadow that's overshadowing myself. And it's the experience, and a lot of times it is with a specific person, that is the catalyst of your coming back to yourself. And this is incredibly empowering because this is actually showing you who you are, who you truly are. And you're not just this physical form. You also are the God that created you. I and my Father are one, but my Father is greater than I. We're talking about the source of everything, the creator of everything, that consciousness, that pure, unconditional, powerful, beyond our human comprehension consciousness, that power. You are also that. I love Rumi. You guys know that I love Rumi. I just love everything about Rumi's quotes, but one of his quotes was, "You are not just a drop in the ocean. You are also the mighty ocean in the drop." If you imagine just an unlimited, never-ending, vast ocean, when you are in fear of anything, that you are perceiving separation. Don't accept separation. That's an illusion. That is of the 3D conditioning. That's of the human part of you. But when you are in fear and you freeze up, you become frozen. You're in fear, you're in lack, you're in worry, you're in your victim state. You're very reactive. Anger, guilt, shame, frustration. You're feeling blamed or you're blaming. Imagine that perfect little drop that is also the ocean, but that perfect little drop is frozen. And when the little drop is frozen, the flow of the vast intelligence and unconditional love can't move through the frozen drop. When you are in your trust and you know actually who you are, when you do that and then you are just really loving yourself, you're like really digging who you are and you're listening to yourself, you're listening to your needs, you're putting yourself first, not in a selfish, egoic, narcissistic way, but just because you should be putting yourself first. You should be loving yourself and valuing yourself and filling up your cup until the point where it flows over with love. When you get to that place and you know how sacred you are, how sacred you are, how sacred your love is, and how sacred everyone in your reality is as well, for being a catalyst to showing you that you are pure, divine, unconditional love, that you are that, then that frozen drop, it melts, and then you're able to, you are then everything is flowing through you again. I just wanted to read a little bit out of The Power of Awareness, Chapter 3, Power of Assumption, because I think that this will help a lot of you. This is all the stuff that just comes to my head when I wake up in the morning. I highly suggest that you pull yourself out, like zoom out from the things that you're manifesting if you're in a place of distrust, and listen to the audiobooks of The Power of Awareness through Master Key Society, Feeling is the Secret, and The Pearl of Great Price. A 100K watt on that's another channel has the lecture of Neville Goddard's Pearl of Great Price. So I highly recommend those things when you're in a state of distrust. It's a really good way to just pull yourself out of the BS of the 3D so you can get back in alignment with yourself, with the teachings. Chapter 3, Power of Assumption of The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. All that befalls a man, all that is done by him, all that comes from him, happens as a result of his state of consciousness. A man's consciousness is all that he thinks and desires and loves, all that he believes is true and consents to. That is why a range of consciousness is necessary before you can change, excuse me. That is why a change of consciousness is necessary before you can change your outer world. Rain falls as a result of change in the temperature in the higher regions of the atmosphere. So, in like manner, a change of circumstance happens as a result of a change in your state of consciousness. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. To be transformed, the whole basis of your thoughts must change. But your thoughts cannot change unless you have new ideas, for you think from your ideas. All transformation begins with an intense burning desire to be transformed. The first step in the renewing of the mind is desire. You must want to be different and intend to be before you can begin to change yourself. You must make your future dream a present fact. You do this by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. By desiring to be other than what you are, you can create an ideal of the person you want to be and assume that you are already that person. If this assumption is persistent in until it becomes your dominant feeling, the attainment of your ideal is inevitable. The ideal you hope to achieve is always ready for an incarnation, but unless you yourself offer it human parentage, it is incapable of birth. Therefore, your attitude should be one in which, having your desire to express a higher state, you alone accept the task of incarnating this new and greater value of yourself. In giving birth to your ideal, you must bear in mind that the methods of mental and spiritual knowledge are entirely different. This is a point that is truly understood by probably not more than one person in a million. You know a thing mentally by looking at it from the outside, by comparing it with other things, by analyzing it and defining it, whereas you can know a thing spiritually only by becoming it. You must be the thing itself and not merely talk about it or look at it. You must be like the moth in search of his idol, the flame, who spurred with true desire, plunging at once into the sacred fire, folding his wings within, till he became one color and one substance with the flame. He only knew the flame who in it burned, and only he could tell who ne'er to tell returned. Just as a moth in desire to know the flame was willing to destroy himself, so must you in becoming a new person be willing to die to your present self. You must be conscious of being healthy if you are to know what health is. You must be conscious of being secure if you are to know what security is. Therefore, to incarnate a new and greater value of yourself, you must assume that you already are what you want to be, and then live by faith in this assumption, which is not yet incarnate in the body of your life, in confidence that this new value of state of consciousness will become incarnated through your absolute fidelity to the assumption that you are that which you desire to be. This is what wholeness means, what integrity means. They mean submission of the whole self to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, in certainty that this new state of consciousness is the renewing of the mind, which transforms. There is no order in nature corresponding to this willing submission of the self to the ideal beyond the self. Where he talked about you must offer your manifestation human parentage. If you are giving birth to something, just like a mother, when giving birth to something, and take gender out of this, don't get confused with masculine, feminine, female, male when I say this. If you're offering your manifestations human parentage, you're the one giving birth to it. You're giving birth to your desire that's already done. To give birth to a healthy baby, you want to remain relaxed, at peace. You want to feel good. You want to be empowered. You want to be nourishing yourself. You want to be in trust and doing good and healthy things for yourself. You want to be resting. It's important for the birth of the child, right? Or the birth of your manifestation. Just like when a woman is pregnant, she's doing what she has to do to maintain being at peace and feeling good. She's eating for the baby. She's eating for two. She's thinking for the baby. She's thinking for the two. So she's very much aware that she's carrying this life inside of her. Start thinking about the things that you're manifesting as something that you're carrying within. If it's, for example, with you and your love, your true love, your specific person, and I'm not talking about shallow based things right now. I'm talking about deep, deep love. Start to imagine that it's up to you to give birth to a healthy, loving relationship, just like Neville Goddard talks about offering human parentage. You want to think for, relax, love for the two of you, so to speak. Let go of all of the circumstance. If you feel deep down in your heart and soul, this is the one, and I'm the love of their life. Whatever this was happened in 3D, you're like, this is bullshit. This just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. I'm not accepting this. Don't do that from an ego place, because then you're going to want to do something in the 3D to change it. Step back and just recognize this is happening so I can turn back within to source, to myself. Thank you for being a catalyst to my growth. And now I'm going to remain focused and faithful on the best version of us, the best version of our life, the love, the sacred love, the passion, the friendship, the equality, the respect, the fun, the laughter. I'm going to give the birth to our relationship, to a healthy relationship, a loving relationship, a sacred bond that is completely unbreakable and unshakable. I know a lot of you guys, but in the 3D, this and that. Again, that was the catalyst for you to go back within to get empowered, okay? To remember who you are. You're the light. So be the light and stay being the light. And one of the best ways to do that is to stop effing around with your 3D. Learn that the 3D is just previous conditioning of just the human part of you, but you are also the light that comes from within. Be the guiding light and allow yourself to be in that love, to feel safe and secure. Forgive others, forgive yourself, to pull yourself out of blame, resentment, guilt, and shame so you can shine and be who you were actually created to be. If you want me, just reach out. I love you so much. I pray that this video helped a lot of you. I love you. Bye.
Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between us.